Welcome to creating an energy drink video series where we'll take you through the production work cycle of taking reference images and then taking those reference images into Photoshop and bringing them into Maya for video 1, and then we'll start modeling and then texturing, lighting, and then rendering. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring in the top view and the side view. Since it's a cylindrical object, we don't need to get any other views except for these two. You may want to reference the perspective top and perspective bottom in your scene, or off to the on the other monitor. Maybe you can bring it over to the other monitor, but or actually buy one of them and have it right in front of you. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing is just go ahead and crop this. It's important that we just go ahead and get a good clean crop. You don't need anything too large. Just go ahead and something like that. And then the top view, do the same thing. Gotta get that sized and scaled. Okay. Didn't have to be perfect. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead. And so we're going to go ahead and save these out as objects, and let's go ahead and see how big they are. As far as image size, 16.4 megabytes is pretty large. Let's go into resample image and turn that down to 72. Let's do the same thing with this image. Since we're not referencing texture, so I don't need to have that full resolution just as a reference. So there we go. Okay. So I want to make sure everything looks okay. Alright, good. Save this as. Let's put it on. Let's call this energy drink top view. So you're going to prepare your references, and it's important that you give it a name that you understand, so it's easy to find. A JPEG is fine. And 12. Yeah, let's go ahead and save as this one here. Do the side view. And we're going to save that as well. There we go. And let's go ahead and minimize Photoshop. Go into my energy drink and find the top and front view, side view anyway, and then copy. And let's go ahead into documents and find my, I guess we don't have an energy drink. Let's go ahead and create an energy drink file. Let's go ahead and go to project window, create new, let's call this energy drink. Okay, we're just setting up a new project. Click accept. Go ahead and close. Go back to where we were. Documents, Maya, projects, and then looking for energy drink. There we go. Let's put these in source images folder. So I'm just taking the energy drink side view and top view and putting in the source images folder. Okay, let's go ahead and go into Maya. And so we're going to set up our references now. What we want to do is we want to go to the front view, and we're going to go to View, Image Plane, Import Image. We're going to the side view and click Open. Okay. And let's go to the top view. Click on View, Image Plane, Import Image, and Top View. Okay. Alright, so these will be placed in respectively. And they're not going to match, and that's okay. We're going to go in and move the image plane back in the Z direction. Let's go -10. I just opened up in the channel box, go into image plane and just type in center Z -10. I think that'll be enough, and then we're going to move this image plane 2. Let's move that down. Let's go to -10 on that one as well. Let's go a little bit more, -15 maybe. There we go. Now again, we're not going to match. We could scale, I believe we can scale the size, but I think we'll just leave it as is right now. Okay, there we go. That's good. So from the side view, we won't see the top. I'm going to take grid off. So I'm going to go to Show, turn off the grid. Go to the top view as well. Show, turn off the grid. And let's go ahead and go to the other side or side view and just go Show and turn off the grid. So now we just have our image plane. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start modeling. I'm going to get rid of the grid here as well. There we go. So I'm going to go into creating a polygon, create, polygon primitive, cylinder. We're going to start off with a cylinder. I'm going to click in here and do a 10. Go to the top view and see how that looks. Let's scale that up. Now, because the top view is bigger than the side view, I'm going to have to go by the side view, but I'm just scaling it up a little bit. Okay, let's bring that down a bit. Okay, and let's bring that down. Let's select vertex and move the vertices down. This is going to be the very, very base. And I'm going to scale this out a bit, like that. Okay, and let's click on select, and let's go to modify, center pivot, and scale that down to the scale of this base, size of this base, and then with the green box, make it a little bit thicker. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start extruding out and around to the shape of the object. select face, select the faces, and that'll select the sides. We don't want those, so hold down the Control key, marquee, and deselect those. That's a really fast way of selecting them. Or you can select each one of them one by one, but it's much faster doing this. And then deselecting. And that's how I usually do selection. So I'm going to go ahead and select those. Make sure Key Faces is checkmark, and go to Extrude in the option box. Make sure that you edit Reset Settings and Extrude. Hit the W key for move it up, and hit the R key, and then in the middle here, we're going to scale this uniformly up. I'm going to move that down a little bit because we're up a little bit too high. Okay, and then we're going to hit the G key and then the W key. Okay, G key just re-invokes your last command. Okay, and then hit the G key and then the W key and move it up. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Hit the G key and the W key and move it up. And then hit the R key and then scale it in all together. As you can see, we're just kind of following along here. It's not exact. Hit the G key, the move key, up. Hit the R key, scale it in. Hit the G key and the W key, move it up. Okay, now we're at a point where I need to go into the perspective view. And you can see on the bottle here there's an edge, so we need to create that. To do that, we need to go into the perspective view like what I'm doing here, and you'll have to follow along. It gets a little tricky with this, so let's hit the G key and hit the R key and then scale it out just a little bit. Just about that much. Let's go a little bit more. So something like that. You see that edge I'm creating? Okay. And that's the edge we're going to create right here. So hit the G key and then the W key and move that up. Okay, we need to move that, create that thickness that we have. Okay. Now you need to get a perspective top view of this so you can see the inside where the cap is. And since I have the energy drink in front of me, you'll need to rely on the perspective view, perspective top view I gave you. Should have it on the other screen, the other side. And hit the G key once more. Scale that in. We're going to do the thickness of the lip on the top of the energy drink. Okay, something like that. We don't want to make it too chunky. Alright, and then we want to hit the G key and move it down. This is a really deep, and we're going to kind of scale it in just a little bit. Just a little bit. It kind of goes in just a little bit down there. Let's move it down a little bit more. Again, we don't want to scale in it too much. Go to the top view and let's take a look at this. Okay.